Hello there and welcome to CoreTV News at 4 with me, Sabina Izuku. President Goodluck Jonathan on Friday met with President-elect Muhammadu Buhari ahead of the preparations for the handover ceremony. The meeting was held inside the new banquet hall of the Presidential Villa, Abuja, and lasted for about 30 minutes. Buhari was accompanied by the National Chairman of the All Progressive Congress, John Odige Oyegu, and a handful of other party officials. After the meeting, President Goodluck Jonathan and the President-elect came out beaming with smiles.
We have nothing to tell you today. Formally, we will take a date where the President will come and I will show him around the State House. But today is not for that. Today is for continue with our conversation, so we don't need to worry the president. You don't need to also worry the president. You have to. but you see that we are smiling. So yes, I will not tell you. But for the interest of the country.
The president said all.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Anambra State Governor Willie Obiano on Friday held a closed-door meeting with President-elect Muhammadu Buhari. The visit comes a few days after he promised to discuss the interests of people of southeast Nigeria with President-elect. Speaking with newsmen afterwards, the governor expressed hope that the incoming president will include politicians from other parties in his cabinet. He also urged President-elect Muhammadu Buhari to ensure the completion of the second Niger bridge.
I suspect that the president is not going to offer appointment to only people from his party, because everybody will support him, and therefore I'm pleading that he also considers people from the other parties so that we can all embrace the change.
Elder statesman Edwin Clark wants rival politicians to sheath their swords and unite behind President-elect Muhammadu Buhari. He also advised the All Progressive Congress to cooperate with Jonathan administration and accord the president due respect until the 29th of May. Handover date. The one-time information minister said at a news conference in Abuja that there is no point dwelling on what happened during political campaigns.
The elections are over. But I think I should also use this opportunity to mention a few things in this country. This country belongs to all of us. They are majority people, ethnic group, they are minorities, they are pagans, they are Christians, they are Muslims, and so forth. We all have to live in this country together to make it Nigeria. No one section, no one group, no one individual can claim to be that he will be able to manage Nigeria alone. We need one another. After every election, we must forget what happened during the elections, what was said during the campaign against one another, and find a way to move the country forward. Not only those in government, but every one of us.
The Acting Inspector General of Police, Solomon Arase, has ordered restriction on vehicular movement from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. in local government area of 5 states, where supplementary elections are to hold on Saturday, April 25th. The affected states are Abia, Delta, Imo, Kogi, and Taraba states. A statement issued by the police indicates that the restriction order affects movement in and out of areas where the rerun elections are to take place, except for ambulances, free service trucks, and others on essential duties. It consequently advised travelers and citizens who intend to ply roads within those hours to make plans for an alternative route. The police authority also warns the government officials and political office holders against going to polling units with uniformed orderlies or aides. People with no business with voting have also been advised not to move within 300 meters of a polling unit. The Independent National Electoral Commission has deployed 3 national commissioners each to supervise supplementary elections in Abia, Imo and Taraba states on the 25th of April. INEC says the national commissioners are to be assisted in each of the states by 3 resident electoral commissioners, RECs. These, it noted in the statement, are besides the substantive REC for the affected states. The supplementary elections will hold in 51 registration areas in 9 local government areas of Abia State, 79 registration areas in 23 local government areas in Imo State, and 32 registration areas in 10 local government areas in Taraba State. INEC has also deployed 3 directing staffs from the headquarters to each of the affected states to coordinate the operation, while some other headquarters staff have been deployed to the state as monitors. In addition, electoral officers from neighboring states will be on ground to assist the electoral officers of the affected local government areas. The Commission has also used the opportunity to reassure the public that it is investigating allegations of misconduct by some officials during the recent electoral elections. We'll take a short break, and when we return, CoreTV News on the hour continues. Do stay with us.
One continent, 54 countries, over 2,000 languages, but united in similar interests. As news breaks, we give you in-depth analysis around Africa every Monday on CoreTV News. Welcome back to the news. For more information, you can reach us on our social media platform, and that's on facebook.com/CoreTV News. And on our Twitter handle, at CoreTV News NG. For news updates and other programs, you can stream us live on youtube.com/CoreTV News. Impeachment is one of the tools of keeping the executive in check and is a fundamental part of the principle of the separation of powers in any democratic ventures. But with the recent spate of threats of impeachment and indeed impeachment by legislative houses all over the nation, our correspondent Oluwaseyi Adegoke takes a look at why impeachment has lost its true meaning as a tool of democratic practice in Nigeria.
Undoubtedly, the threat of impeachment naturally charges the political atmosphere in the society. For instance, the impeachment of Second Republic Governor of Kaduna State, Balarabe Musa, in 1981 was the first celebrated case. He was elected on the platform of the People's Redemption Party, PRP, as against the National Party of Nigeria, NPN-dominated House of Assembly. Thus, it can be concluded that it was as a result of party differences. In most cases, however, the offense quoted is gross misconduct. Thus, any conduct could be interpreted by the legislature as a gross misconduct.
In other words, if the way the Constitution even defined it, a House member may feel that the Speaker or the Governor is looking at his wife in a manner that he does not consider very decent. And to him, that is gross misconduct. That can lead to the impeachment either of the Governor or the Speaker.
The legislature has oversight responsibilities on the executive arm of government. Another question to raise will be whether or not an impeachment achieved desired results.
When they are driven to the wall, they will raise the stick of impeachment. So impeachment will not grow our democracy, but you cannot completely rule it out. We have set the precedent. It will take a long time before the issue of impeachment can be played down with.
The reason for putting that in the first place was to avoid abuse on the executive part. May we not now create another abuse from the House angle.
As in the case of Balarabe Musa in 1981, the imbroglio in Ekiti State between Governor Ayofayoshi and the State House of Assembly has more of political connotations than governance issues. The House of Assembly is dominated by members of a political party different from that upon which the governor came into power, at least not until May 29. Why is that an issue?
We are still learning this process, and there's a lot of mischief in our politicking. We have not met that best practice in politics. But even beyond that, there are times partisanship takes the upper hand. And there are issues by partisan approach, should be followed. If a party is hell-bent on taking power and it has a majority in the House of Assembly, that means the executive will have a lot of work to do.
But all in all, the question and the fundamental issue will be to take another look at the nation's law to really set each step to be taken in stone, as opposed to the present practice of leaving it in the hands of people who may not necessarily have public good as the overriding motive behind such moves. Oluwaseyi Adigoke, CoreTV News, Lagos.
Some indigenes of Oyo State have ascribed the second-term victory of the incumbent governor in the state as a reward for hard work and quality leadership. They say the jinx broken by him did not come as a surprise because of increased awareness of the electorate in deciding which candidate deserves their mandate. Our correspondent Omotai Alo has more in this report.
4, 5, 6.
Elections have come and gone, but many have not gotten over the experience and outcome of the process. Specifically in the Pace-Setter state, the build-up to the governorship election was quite tense as a result of predictions of violence and anticipation as to who would emerge winner amongst 3 prime candidates who served before as governors and 2 other first-time candidates. But when Oyo decided, the incumbent governor Abiola Ajimobi emerged winner against all odds of a no second-term jinx. This is what the Oyo leaders make of this historic victory.
It's not a written law, neither is it an unwritten law. He said a former secretary to government made that statement, who is late now. So there is nowhere that it is written that no, Ibadan indigenes will not become governor twice. But generally taken as a jinx, which the incumbent governor, Governor Abiola Ajimobi, has broken, if it is.
No any other human being who can say that I will not follow you 2 times, I will not follow you 3 times. Only God has that idea.
His victory at the poll did not sit well with a current governorship candidate and the supporters who accused the incumbent of rigging the election. But on the other end, these indigents say the incumbent governor deserves the victory as they advise the grieved candidate to desist from the cause of violence and allow the interest of the state supersede personal gains.
I've always said it, more than any governor in this state, Senator Abiola Ajimobi has performed wonderfully well, and he deserved the victory.
Violence does not pay. People have come out empty, and they voted for their respective candidates. What extra will create a violence?
The lesson we should learn from the re-election of Governor Ajimobi and any other re-elected governor or top echelon is that the voter is now wiser. They could discern and sift between propaganda, slander, and false information to compare with one, the integrity of the candidates, his or antecedent, performance ratio, and delivery graph.
As the former governor and candidate of Accord, Rashid Ladoja is determined to contest the outcome of the April 11 governorship election at the Electoral Tribunal. Certainly, this may not be the last of the matter. Omotayo Alo, CoreTV News, Ibadan.
And over to judicial matters, where a federal high court in Abuja has fixed the 4th of May for hearing in a fresh suit challenging moves by the 19 members of the All Progressive Congress in Ekiti State House of Assembly to impeach the state governor Ayodele Fayose. Justice Ewu Chukwu, while ruling on an ex parte application filed by the 7 People's Democratic Party members in the Assembly, ordered that the processes be served on all the defendants in the suit. A similar suit filed by Fayose and others are pending before Justice Ahmed Mohammed of the same Federal High Court in Abuja. Justice Mohammed had fixed April 29 for further proceedings in the state-said suit. The 19 APC members had already served the impeachment notice on the governor and his deputy, Kolapo Olushola. Justice Chukwu on Thursday refused to set sides the impeachment process, but ordered that the party should maintain status quo as of the 23rd of April. He, however, ordered that the defendant should appear in court at the next hearing date to show cause, while the order of interim injunction sought by the plaintiff should not be granted. The plaintiff in the suit, FHC ABJ CS 361-2015, are the 7 PDP members in the House of Assembly. The defendants are the Inspector General of Police, the embattled Speaker of the House of Assembly, Adewale Umiri, and 21 others. Residents of Kaduna State have again commended the Independent National Electoral Commission for its successful conduct of the 2015 general elections. They specifically said the elections brought in good and capable politicians into office. Amina Anebi has more, and it is presented from our studio.
It's over 30 days since the general elections, but residents of Kaduna are filled with great expectations. Many of them, especially in the metropolis, also complained about the attitude of outgoing politicians. Mohammed Salisu is physically challenged and is not particularly happy with politicians, but he seems to have some trust in President-elect Muhammadu Buhari.
Our bill is on sign since 2011, and it has been read, first reading, second reading, and third reading. It is in front of the present president, but up to now, the bill hasn't been signed off to this time.
Civil servants in Kaduna, for their part, are quite expectant, especially with a new party taking charge of the state for the first time since 1999.
I'm expecting progress, good change in our country, Nigeria, and we pray that God will help him to do a greater thing.
My expectation is that I know that with the changes in government, we are expecting that things will be better. Well, people may say that nothing is going to happen like as we expected, but me, I have the hope that something good will be happening to this country.
If this incoming administration come into power, there should be justice and fair play. It is not you are my brother, you are my sister, we are from the same religion, or we are from the same ethnicity. That has been our major block problem. If the president-elect will handle that squarely, because any law you want to implement today must start from #1 citizen. Once it starts from there, it goes down the line.
For now, many residents, irrespective of religion or tribe, are celebrating the dawn of a new government at state and federal levels.
Members of Edo's state civil society organization have demanded full compensation for the family of late Chibuike Ede, who died while in police custody following alleged negligence on the part of the Nigerian police, who detained him following allegations of death by his employers, Protea Hotel, Benin. Our correspondent in Benin has more.
40 days ago, Chibuike Ede, a 23-year-old porter and former staff of Protea Hotel, lost his life while in police custody following detention after allegation of theft by his employers. The family, on hearing of his death, alleged foul play due to what they described as inconsistencies in the account given by the police. But today, these activists have again taken to the streets to demand compensation for his family. They took the fight to the doorstep of his former employers, Protea Hotel in Benin, dropping a symbolic coffin to drive home their point.
The message is very clear. Until we get the kind of justice that is acceptable, at minimum, to that family and to the rest of society, we will continue this struggle.
Yes! It is sad. He said, if you see Kiamo Pia Pia, then look out for jail for Abuja. There is no force that can stop a people who are resolved. And an injury to one.
At the Protea Hotel premises, With a detachment of police operatives looking on to nip any act of violence in the bud, the protesters had a field day, chanting solidarity songs with various placards. This got guests and staff of the hotel curious, with some peeping through the windows. The group also vowed to take their protest to the State Police Command headquarters and the Department of State Security, while also making a stopover at the State Council Secretariat of the Nigeria Union of Journalists.
With constant increasing participation by inventors of various platforms and those on the other side of the divide, the consumers and social media platform, our correspondent Patience Ajiboye filed in this report on the social media trend of Nigerians and how it has come to affect their lives.
Social media are computer-mediated tools that allow people to create, share or exchange information, ideas, pictures, videos in virtual communities and networks. They depend on mobile and web-based technologies to create highly interactive platforms through which individuals and communities share, co-create, discuss, and modify user-generated content. Social media are different from traditional or industrial media in many ways, including quality, frequency, usability, immediacy, and permanence. These differing features of the social media from other media is what makes it a nearly irreversible or droppable phenomenon. With innovations of various media such as Facebook, WhatsApp, Twitter, and BBM amongst others, there has been no doubt a dramatic decrease in face-to-face interactions. Since at only a minimal amount of money, files which include official documents, videos, sounds, and images can be shared. It also allows anyone with an internet connection to become a content creator. However, this is not to say it is immaculately blameless. Criticisms of social media range from criticisms of the ease of use of specific platforms and their capabilities, the amount of time it consumes, as it is easily addictive, disparity of information available, issues with trustworthiness and reliability of information presented, instances of which have led to loss of life amongst other ills.
It's meant to help us positively, but then we see people doing negative things, yeah? And then it's not right to do that, because that's not what it was made for. But then the thing is this, I hear people saying it's negative.
I can live perfectly without social media. I'm not a fan of social media, either Facebook or whatever. What I do, probably, let's say Facebook, I only go to Facebook when I'm tired. Probably I'm tired, I just want to relax, so I just go there to see what is happening.
I just check feeds and beneficial updates, you subscribe to them pages, scientific, and they give you updates. That's what I use them for mostly. That doesn't mean I can't do without them. I actually have other means where I can derive my information. I read books, I do those things, read newspapers.
Yet, whereas for many, social media is a trend that cannot be avoided, as it keeps one up to date. It cannot be done away with.
No, I can't stay without social media because it keeps me informed on fashion, politics, everything in general.
Social media is really helping positively in some ends, but on some other hands, it might be working negatively. But the positive part is more than the negative part.
With one or two, I'm okay. So I'm not too too keen on them. So, but it's become a way of life. It's not something anybody who is in this generation can do without.
Whichever way it is looked at, the benefits of participating in social media have gone beyond simply social sharing to building reputation and bringing in career opportunities and monetary income, although caution should be the watchword in the use of this trend. Patience Ajiboye, CoreTV News, Lagos.
And that's a wrap up on this. Do join us at the top of the hour for more. I am Sabana Zukin. Thank you very much indeed.